Happy birthday. When things are going wrong, you have the ability to start over every single day. If things go wrong 10 days in a row, you have the ability to try to start over every single day until it sticks. Hi, everyone. My name is Pete Ferrari. Welcome to the SuperSelf podcast series brought to you by Jocko Rare Sugar. As we know, this is the place where we find all things health and well-being. And we've talked about the many, many facets throughout our lives where health and well-being comes into play. Well, today's episode is very simple, very straightforward. Happy birthday. That's the bottom line. Really, the notion is that every day can be your birthday. Every day you can start over. Now, the Stoics say memento mori, right? Memento mori means remember that we're all going to die. So just go for it. Then there's the whole live each day as if it were your last thing. And then even country music stars like Tim McGraw, live like you were dying. Well, my glass is a little more full and a little less empty, as opposed to waking up every day thinking, well, I'm going to die, so I may as well do what I want. My choice is to get up every day and say, this is a celebration. This is going to be an awesome day. I have a mantra, happy birthday. And I use this mantra with myself and I use it with other people as well. Happy birthday. When things are going wrong, you have the ability to start over every single day. If things go wrong 10 days in a row, you have the ability to try to start over every single day until it sticks. And I think the idea that this applies to all aspects of your life really comes into foray where you think about what you may be doing as a function of your habits, what you may be doing as a function of how you're treating certain people, what may be happening to you as a function of how certain people are treating you. Every day we can turn it around. So for example, if you get up every morning and you are having a donut at Dunkin' Donuts to start your day. Now, we know that that's not the most healthy way to start the day. We probably should be opting for some egg whites or some fruit. But if this is the way we've been starting our day, and we've been doing it for years, and we know it's not good for us, but we think we should stop. Every day is your birthday. Get up this next morning and say, I'm not having a donut today. And pick something else on the menu with your coffee. It's that simple. And the beauty of it is, happy birthday. When you fail on that given day for whatever reason, start over on the next day, and the day after that, and the day after that. When it comes to treating certain people in our lives a particular way, making sure that every time our child leaves the house, we tell them that we love them, or our spouse or our significant other. Maybe we have not done that to the extent that we should. And it's easy to remedy because it's all a function of a conscious decision and free will. We have complete control over our birthday. Complete control. We can choose to act or we can choose not to act. And if in a particular day we fail for whatever reason, we can choose to act on the next day and the day after that. So getting in the habit of telling your daughter that you love her every time you talk to her on the phone and meaning it, that can be a great way to celebrate your birthday. Also, the converse is true. Saying, I'm no longer going to let this person treat me the way that they have been for years. I'm no longer going to let this person beat me down every day like they have, whether it's passive aggressively or otherwise. Today is my birthday. I'm not going to take any shit off of that person anymore. Now, if the patterns are well established, right? We're not in the habit of doing certain things over years, or we are in the habit of doing certain things over years, it's going to be a little bit harder. We may have to kind of ease our way into it. You've heard me talk about Admiral McCraven, small wins. Just get up, start the day by making your bed, right? Small wins. You may not be able to stomp as overtly into this birthday as you would like to, but you can still dip your toe and then step into it. And small wins lead to momentum. Momentum leads to big wins. Big wins lead to a lifestyle. And now that becomes the new you. So life is really a series of birthdays. And I like to think that, and you've heard me talk about this, failure is actually good. It'd be too easy if we said, okay, today's my birthday, no more donuts, and I go cold turkey and don't eat donuts, and that's it, it's in my rearview mirror. It'd be great. But the reality is human nature and human beings just don't work like that. We're pretty complicated animals, and we've got a lot of dynamics at play. We've got a lot of stresses. We've got a lot of responsibilities. We've got a lot of things that we need to contend with day to day, good, bad, or otherwise. And so it's easy to lean into old habits. It's easy to lean into things that may seemingly reduce stress. But if we decide we're going to change, thereby extension, it may not be the easiest thing in the world because of the lineage, basically. And so failure is good in that instance because at least you're recognizing formidably that you should be changing something, right? And failure is good because you only learn when you lose. You don't learn when you win. Winning's easy. Winning's easy. Just keep doing what you're doing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Learn when you lose, recognize what you need to change, and then take the steps to change it. And every day is a rebirth. Every day, because you've got your own free will, you can decide to be reborn. I do this with my friends and I do this with my family as well. They're going through a really, really crappy stretch. And every day seems to be, it's just compiling more and more and more and more of the bad stuff, of the bad stuff, of the bad stuff. Every day when I talk to them, I'll say, happy birthday. Today's the day. Today's the day, brother. You can change this one little thing and you'll be on the path to correcting this ship. And that's how life works. Small wins lead to momentum. Momentum lead to big wins. Big wins lead to lifestyle. It's that fundamental. If you can just embrace the concept and the formulaic component, really, it's just a matter of deciding to act and acting appropriately. And I don't think I know anybody that's ever paid the price when they have tried to change themselves for the better and failed consistently, but in the end persevere. One of my favorite quotes of all time, you hear me say I've lived my life by this, is because I think there's a term for someone who loves quotes, not a quotophile or something, quota friendly, I don't know. But anyway, I live my life by a series of quotes. And one of them in particular is poignant, and I've trained my daughter to live her life in this same fashion. And that is simple. The only failure I will not tolerate is the failure to risk failure. Now think about that. It basically means take your nuts in your hand and make a move. Calm down, look around, make a move. The only failure I will not tolerate is the failure to risk failure. So go forth and fail every single day. I used to do this. I did this when I took over a division of a software company. We had a tech company that got acquired. I took over a division of the company. I now had a ton of people reporting to me that didn't know me from Adam. They had no idea who I was. I get them all on the first conference call, nationwide, corporate-wide, talking to the senior managers who were on the call. I said, hey, Jimmy, what are you going to go out and fuck up today? In exactly that terminology. And there's dead silence on the other end of the phone because this person, again, doesn't know who I am. They think their job's in jeopardy. Here I am, the new guy at the top. What am I all about? And I tell them that they're going to go out and fuck up today. Dead silence on the other end of the phone. We'll move over to Sally. Hey, Sally, what are you going to go out and fuck up today? Crickets. Nobody's answering me. And get through the whole team. Nobody answers. So let me help you understand something, folks, at a base level. If you are not out there actively pushing the envelope, which means you absolutely will fail, then you are of zero use to me and this team and this company. Because here's the bottom line. If you're acting ethically and within the confines of the law, there is nothing that I can't dig you or this company out of as the senior most guy. Nothing. If it's ethical and it's legal, go forth and screw up. Let me dig you out. I got your back. Because if you're pushing the envelope, if you're using every day as your birthday to try to get just a little bit better, but before you know it, you're a juggernaut in space. You're the best of the best. Go forth and mess up. Don't worry about failing. When you lose, you learn. That's the big message. And the fact that we have the ability, because of our free will, because of our consciousness, to go forth every day and start over, it's really the biggest advantage you can have, right? There's no expiration date. There's no deadline. You could try every single day. And that's how we built our SuperSelf modules. As I've mentioned before, we've got 4 modules, health and well-being modules, downloadable on the website for free, www.jockasugar.com. Go download them for free. The first one is lifestyle and mindset. Second one is nutrition. The third one is fitness. The fourth one is rec analysis, recognize, embrace, and channel. We spent a year developing these modules, by the way. And what these modules are geared towards is helping you start from a standing stop. If you've never tried to tackle new habits before, if you are set in your ways and you really don't know where to begin, if the Google searches don't make sense to you, if AI is too overwhelming in the answers it gives you, just go through our questionnaires, download the workbooks, and answer a series of questions about the topic that you know by far the best, yourself. What do you like? What don't you like? When are you strong during the day? When are you weak during the day mentally? When are you tired during the day? When are you fresh during the day? When are you ready to roll during the day? When do you want to nap during the day? Let's analyze ourselves. Let's understand what our situation is overall. And then from there, we can cater to it and build in what will be new strengths, new milestones, small steps, which leads to momentum so that we can become the best version of ourselves. We can become our super selves. The fundamental premise behind every day is your birthday, that's how we built these modules out. Every day is your birthday. Start fresh. If you fail, go back to the book, go back to the philosophy, go back to the habit you're trying to start or stop and start over again. Happy birthday. It works. I've been doing it my whole life. We've talked about this before. I've made tens of thousands of mistakes. And hopefully that has given me just a tiny bit of wisdom. Learned when I lost, applied it every day, failed continuously, but always trying to be the student and always trying to get better. That's all we can ask of ourselves. And that will put us in a position where everybody around us will respond to it. They'll see what we're trying to do. They'll see what we're trying to accomplish. They'll respect it. They'll admire it. They'll love it. They'll support it. They can feel it. It's a vibe thing. Once you start looking at yourself in this fashion, and I don't know anybody that's ever paid the price, at least trying to do it. Try it. Wake up tomorrow morning and say, happy birthday. Here's what I'm going to do today that's different. I'm going to start doing this or I'm going to stop doing that. Off to the races. Till next time, cheers. Okay, everyone. That brings to a close another episode of the SuperSelf podcast series brought to you by Jocko Rare Sugar. Here, we are going to be helping you discover the truth for all things that surround good health and well-being. We'll be offering you statistical data, clinical trial information that has been evaluated and corroborated so that you can see for yourself that we say what we mean and we mean what we say. Now, while the SuperSelf series is brought to you technically by Jocko Rare Sugar, I don't care if you buy the sugar. I really don't. That's not what this is about. This is about operating as the conscience across the food and beverage industry, across the health and well-being industry, which includes supplements, fitness trainers, and the like. Our goal is to provide you with the stepping stones for your own research, where you can go out and corroborate the things that we say on your own. See for yourself what it means to find a good quality of life that fits in alongside your current lifestyle or your family's lifestyle. I think it's really going to be interesting and fascinating if we take this journey together. And once again, our goal is not just to provide you with data, but to keep it interesting. I've been living a clean lifestyle for 40 years now. I've been going to the gym for almost 45 years, eating clean for 40 years. And so we're going to have a ton of stories along the way about the foibles, the successes, and the failures, but we're also going to provide you with the information that you need to carry on and carry forward. Think about subscribing. We'd love it if you subscribe to us, pass this on to your friends. I think we've got a lot of edgy and interesting podcasts that are upcoming, and we certainly will look forward to any feedback that you want to provide. Until next time, cheers.